Niti Aayog ranks Kerala among the worst fiscally managed states, cites poor developmental expenditure and unsustainable debts. A school in Hyderabad receives bomb threats, triggering security protocols and emergency response, later confirmed to be a hoax. Madras High Court rejects Netflix India's application seeking dismissal of Dhanush's copyright suit against Nayanthara. Telangana High Court restricts entry of children for movie shows after 11 p.m. asks the state government to formulate rules. And let's now take you through what's in store in the South Indian today. First story coming up is from Karnataka. Why is Chief Minister Siddaramaiah withdrawing cases against Pro-Kannada activists? What's the story? And in Kerala, BJP to undergo major changes in a bid to gain a foothold in the state. Will it work? Anganwadi workers in Karnataka protest demanding increase in minimum wages. And in Karnataka, government to hike Cauvery water tariff. Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar says the hike is inevitable. Infosys co-founder Kris Gopalakrishnan booked under SC/ST Atrocities Act. Alright, you're watching the South Indian and our lead story today is coming from Karnataka. Why is Siddaramaiah withdrawing cases against pro-Kannada activists? Just a couple of hours ago, ladies and gentlemen, 3 people were arrested in Bengaluru for allegedly attacking 2 men from Bihar with a knife for not speaking Kannada at Lakasandra extension. The victims were apparently asking for an address and wanted to be notified where it is, and the attackers took objection to them for having not spoken in Kannada and therefore stabbed them. And of course, you must have also heard this incident at the Diljit Dosanjh concert, where a woman alleged that she was not only harassed but also jostled and pushed for not having spoken in Kannada. But then, the biggest incident in recent memory happened in December of 23 when pro-Kannada activists launched an aggressive campaign against business establishments in Bengaluru for not having adhered to the language norms set by the state. The norm was set by the BBMP, announcing that licenses for shops, hotels and malls would be suspended if they failed to comply with the 60% Kannada rule on signage. When the protesters, mainly members of the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike or KRV, found that not many signboards and nameplates featured Kannada prominently, they went on an aggressive rampage and vandalized shops, even entering malls to deface and damage property. These activists tore down English signboards and sprayed black ink over English letters, demanding respect for the Kannada language, hitting major business hubs including MG Road, Brigade Road and UB City, among several others. At that time, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah was very clear when he said, after the police had intervened, and I am quoting him here, action would be taken against those who take the law into their own hands. Alright then, but now the scenario has changed. The Chief Minister has given a blanket clean chit to all pro-Kannada activists by announcing the withdrawal of all government cases filed against pro-Kannada activists during their pro-Kannada and pro-Karnataka agitations in the past. He made the announcement while unveiling a statue of goddess Bhuvaneshwari at the Vidhana Saudha. Listen in to what Siddaramaiah said on the matter.
ಕನ್ನಡ ಪರ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೇನು ಕೇಸ್ಗಳು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಏನಾರ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಜಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಿದೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಚಳವಳಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ. ಅದು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಸಬ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಗೃಹ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಸಚಿವರ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಸಬ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ.
Siddaramaiah also added how people should take pride in Kannada language and said, "We would love all languages, but we must nurture and use only Kannada in daily life. Unlike other states such as Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh or Maharashtra, where you must learn the local languages to live there, in Karnataka, we have built an environment where outsiders needn't learn Kannada and still live in Karnataka. We should change that by making outsiders learn Kannada and interact in the language." Ladies and gentlemen, I am very clear here. To take pride in one's mother tongue is not only natural but also imperative. We have to keep our respective mother tongues alive. But then, how right or on the side of law is Chief Minister Siddaramaiah when he gives a clean chit to activists who indulged in vandalism in the past? Is it a law and order situation or not? Let's debate. Joining us, Satya Prakash, spokesperson for the KPCC, and Ramkrishna Upadhyay, senior journalist. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. Ramkrishna Upadhyay, I will first come to you. Like I said, to protect your mother tongue, to kind of do a lot of schemes under the mother tongue is mandatory. I am totally for it. Otherwise, languages slowly and steadily have been dying. And Kannada is a great language. You know, I mean, all languages are good, but particularly Kannada, the literature that you have, the cultural significance of Kannada language is not hidden from many people, at least not from me. But I want to ask you that when you give a clean chit like this, how do you differentiate between those who had peacefully protested, Ramkrishna, and those, we saw those visuals, remember, who went and broke signboards, who entered shops, who intimidated shopkeepers, who, you know, used black paint to paint it all over, so much of damage to property. Do you think it's fair, Ramkrishna Upadhyay? My question is only about equality for all and law being supreme.
So before answering your question about fairness or unfairness, I would like to give you some background. You know, Kannadigas are among the most liberal, large-hearted people you will find anywhere in this country. See, Bangalore has been a host to multiple people from multiple languages. In fact, Kannadigas are a minority in Bangalore. And there are lots of outsiders who come and settle down. And when they come here, they're welcomed. So, you know, it's been going on for more than 3 decades that people from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, all of them have come and settled down and they've been working here. So we live, you know, happily with them. And in fact, Kannadigas, many of them go out of the way to speak in their language. They try to speak in their, you know, little bit of Hindi, you know, trying to help them out. So this has been on for a long time. And this is, I feel, has been, you know, taken for granted. I don't really support the fact of somebody attacking somebody on this issue. No, I mean, even the attacking the shops and the establishments, no, that also I condemn. But the fact of the matter is, you know, Kannadigas were taken for granted for a long time. And especially the businessmen, you know, they thought they could get away by just, you know, doing their business. None of the, you know, signboards had, you know, Kannada. 99% of the signboards in Karnataka or especially Bangalore were in English. Can you see that in Tamil Nadu? Can you see that in Kerala? So that was not the case. So Kannadigas felt that, you know, we were being insulted. So that's the reason why I think this Siddaramaiah government took up this issue very seriously. They passed a cabinet resolution saying that 60% of the boards should display, you know, signs in Kannada and 40% in English. Now, I'm very happy to see, even in places like MG Road and Brigade Road, you have Kannada signboards. I mean, it's a matter of pride. It's a matter of prestige. And it's a matter of convenience. People who want to, you know, be able to see their, you know, their language being displayed. So I don't think there is anything wrong with that. So this
my-
has been,
My
this
question is different. I am all for mother tongue. I am all for Kannada. I am all for Telugu, Malayalam, Urdu, Hindi, whatever. You are right. Will it be allowed in Tamil Nadu? Not at all. But I don't understand this clean chit, giving clean chit, to all of them. You can protest peacefully by making your point. If you are a liberal society, decently you can protest, but entering, who's going to compensate for all the losses that they have incurred? They are also part of Karnataka. They bring in revenues. That's my question is on law and order. Let me come back to you. Satya Prakash, please welcome to the debate. Satya Prakash, hi. Satya Prakash, I want to again, my point is not about Kannada at all. Please, my point is law and order. I am giving a clean chit to all the vigilantes who in BJP's time, Baswaraj Bommai's time, went around during Valentine's Day and being rude and obnoxious with young couples, or going to the other community and saying that, oh, you don't have a right, you come out of the car. I remember all those incidents in Dakshina Karnataka and everyone. Suppose they gave a clean chit. Won't you think that
They're
this
all
is
isolated incidents? I think you're talking about isolated incidents. Let him speak and then I'll come back to you.
All right. So don't you think, I was addressing Satya only. So don't you think it is completely a law and order problem, and only in the morning today, 2 people from Bihar were allegedly attacked because they asked for an address in Hindi and not in Kannada. I am saying because you're a peaceful state. Does it not become a law and order problem, Satya Prakash? Look at, suppose I was a shopkeeper, I'll say, what is this? I lost property worth 50,000 rupees. Who's going to pay me back?
First of all, let me reiterate. Karnataka Kannadiga Sarvabhauma. In the state of Karnataka, Kannadiga and Karnataka language is supreme. We have no other interest other than protecting the interest of our language, our people, and that is foremost. There's no compromise on that. Coming back to the issue of what the Chief Minister said, he was said very clearly that, there is a cabinet subcommittee to review these cases. What he said was all the cases of put on Kannada activists will be reviewed by that subcommittee. Any of the cases which will be frivolous in nature, where they took out a procession, where they fought for the language, where they fought for the Kannada people, Kannada pride, and if they were not harsh in nature, government will withdraw all those cases. In some cases where it is very criminal in nature, those cases the government might not withdraw. The Deputy CM came here and he said very clearly, our Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji also said very clearly that I am not giving a clean sheet. He said, we will refer it. Please give me a list of all the cases. I will refer it to the cabinet subcommittee.
Yeah,
there is a cabinet subcommittee which is there.
Yeah.
Group of ministers.
There were 2 parts. There were 2 parts.
Sir,
there were 2 parts to Siddaramaiah ji's statement. First was clean chit will be given and also a subcommittee. When the Chief Minister of a state says this, it makes news because there is no one more important than the Chief Minister of a state. So my question once again, before both of you talk about Kannadiga pride, I am saying I am very proud also. And look at Karnataka, it speaks Kannada, Telugu, Tulu, English, Hindi, Dakkani.
Marathi.
Fantastic. When I go there, it's a true melting point. I hear Dakkani, which is beautiful, which is a mix of Urdu and Hindi. It is so lovely. I speak several Indian languages, Bengali, Tamil, Kannada. No, my problem is about law and order. And therefore, I am asking Ramkrishna Upadhyay, come in here. Morning this happened. I am not even saying where an auto rickshaw driver says, I speak in Kannada or else I want to take you to Tippu Sindra. All that I am not. Who knows? I was not there. I can keep saying that because we know Bangalore. But the point of the matter is here, if you see it from the prism of law and order, pride is okay, nationalism is okay, but a clean chit, I don't think is okay. Ramkrishna Upadhyay.
No, Sudha, see, that is where I agree that the Chief Minister cannot say that we will give a clean chit for everybody.
Yes.
If there are cases of criminal nature, as Satya Prakash was saying, where vandalism has taken place, if somebody has deliberately, attacked the shops and then caused losses, he has to pay. I mean, he has to be brought to book. But, in this kind of cases, what happens is lots of people are just booked. the police just go on, booking cases, 200, 300, 400 people. So there are a lot of innocent people who obviously cannot be penalized, and they go on getting the court notices, and they have to appear there, and it gets postponed. It's kind of harassment. I think that is what the GM was.
Ramakrishna, at that time, I saw KRV, I saw Karnataka Rakshana Vedike people on the street, and we checked footage from everywhere. Those are not innocent people. They were pulling people, breaking barricades. They had sticks in their hands. Now, wait a minute. 1 second I'll take. You can come into the thing. Much like I, sitting in Delhi, know that there was vandalism. You think Siddaramaiah did not know when he said that clean chit will be given? Then why did he not specify? He adds that there is a subcommittee later. But his opening statement is, and he's smiling, standing with Shivakumar, and when he was unveiling Goddess Bhuvaneshwari statue at the Vidhana Saudha, he says very clearly, all pro-Kannada activists and Karnataka agitation activists will be given a clean chit. What is this? This is a double-edged sword, Ramakrishna Upadhyay.
Sudha, I agree that if there is a criminal act, it has to be acted upon. There's no question about that.
Right.
But the point is, there are hundreds of innocents who also get booked in these kind of cases.
Right.
And and don't forget, this is something which has been bothering Kannadigas for a long time, and these Kannada organizations have taken up this issue, and the extent to which they have gone, I won't support. Definitely not support.
Yeah,
because
like
the government is there to take care of the law and order.
It's like the
Shiva
Sena. It's like the Shiva Sena saying.
In Bangalore. Let me finish, Sudha, please. You see, in Bangalore, Kannadigas have become a minority, and the Hindi wallas think that they can dominate. There are instances where they insult Kannadigas. Do you know that? They say, what kind of a language is? Why Kannada? Kannada nahi aati. This is a kind of arrogance that they display. So why should the Kannadigas stop this? Which is disgusting.
Do you think
it can happen in Tamil Nadu? Do you think anybody can go in Tamil Nadu and say that I don't know Tamil? So they'll just throw you out.
I totally. One thing is to look down upon any language. I mean, here is a proof in Hindi in Delhi. So I've seen this. It is racism. It is horrible. It is horrible.
South Indian in Delhi, you understand this better.
I bet. Yes, I was called a Madrasi all my life, and I now beat them in their own language. But that's another story. Satya Prakash, when the vigilantes of the BJP, the rowdies went around doing things you and I know, troubling young people. Why are you sitting here? Who's this? Why are you dressed in a particular fashion? This, that, and beating them. And the Congress party said this is not the way to behave. These vigilantes should be put behind bars. Imagine something, Satya. Of this also, there must be some innocent people. One guy is agitating, two are just standing there. They also get arrested. Like Ram said just now, Ramakrishna said. I am asking you, you protested against this. Doesn't the same rule apply to this also?
Do you want same thing to be given to them also?
No, you're not asking, because I'm not going to tell you what I think of that other party or your party. I am a journalist. I'm just saying I'm against anyone disturbing young people in the name of morals. I don't think they have any business. There is a law.
These guys are protesting to protect their language.
Right.
In their own land.
Yeah, BJP is trying to apparently protect their Sanskriti, culture, all that, moral policing, as if they are the repositories. Go ahead, Satya Prakash.
That's what. See, your culture and all is different. Here we are talking about a language. In Bangalore, there are 107 other languages. Just imagine the infestation of other languages in Bangalore. Look at Karnataka. Please understand Karnataka from a different perspective. On one side, all the South Indian states come in. People from Tamil Nadu, people from Andhra, people from Kerala, people from Maharashtra come in. Telangana come in. Point number one, because we are in the center, you see.
Right.
Then people from the north throng to, because we have a very good atmosphere. Just because we are giving you employment, we are giving you good atmosphere, as rightly Ramakrishna Upadhyay said, we are very nice people basically. Anyone can come and thrive in Bangalore without knowing the language.
Then what about all that violence? Yeah, but what about all those violent activities around not knowing Kannada? Whether they are 2 or 4 or 10?
See, that is why I very clearly said, just because Siddaramaiah or anyone has said, all the cases will not be taken away. Serious offenders, serious criminal charges. For example, there was a 305 or a 307.
Yeah.
In that, they will not remove that cases. For example, someone has gone and attacked with a sword. There is a 304 or whatever those attempt to murder cases are there. They will not do. Dacoity has happened. They have gone and looted the whole shop. Those set of cases will not. But some frivolous charges, they have put ink on the board. They have brought down the boards for the sake of protecting their own language. Obviously, see, who has to protect Kannada at the end of the day? Will those who have come from outside these Hindi wallahs come and protect Kannada? No.
Okay.
We have to protect our language.
All right, Ramkrishna Upadhyay, let me ask you, do you think...
Let me just make one point before you ask a question. You see, there are 7 awardees in Karnataka. So among them, 4 are non-Kannadigas. 4 are non-Kannadigas. That you take Masti Venkatesh Iyengar, you take Girish Karnad, you take Vikru Gokak, all these are non-Kannadigas. So they learned Kannada and they wrote in Kannada. And Kannadigas are very proud of that.
You are Anantamurthy.
So Kannadigas have been the most large-hearted people. It doesn't mean that anybody can take them for a ride.
No, why do you have this feeling? I mean, anyway, that's another. The point of the matter is that if it's your personal feeling that they are being taken for a ride, etc. But I am asking you something, Ramkrishna Upadhyay. Do you think that Siddaramaiah will be prudent enough, and the subcommittee will be prudent and fair enough to see that those, and there are large numbers, I mean, at least 20. People, activists who actually broke and vandalized and defaced property, that they are punished because they took law into their own hands. You and I are no one to, our feelings and emotions can go fly a kite. It's only the law of the land which is the most supreme here. Do you think Siddaramaiah will succeed in doing that, Ramkrishna?
I'm sure he'll do that. And also there are courts, in this country. They will take care of that. Because those who have vandalized will have to be punished. That will happen. I don't think that that part will be left out. But it's a larger issue we are talking about.
Right, Satya, come quickly. I've got 1 minute, Satya. Come.
See, I will answer this part. Just because we have decided to take away the cases of the Kannadigas, it will go to the subcommittee. Point number 1. Point number 2: the courts can intervene and say you cannot withdraw these cases if they are serious in nature.
Right.
If they are serious in nature, there will be other parties who are there. They can go to the High Court and say, they can go to the upper courts, or in the same court they can say, how is it that the government is intervening in a serious offense, a criminal offense? How we are going to take this out?
Well, let
there
me
are
assure
many
you.
such cases where government has removed the case. Still, the courts have said, no, you can't take it out. The charges still remain.
Well, Satya, as a student of politics, let me assure you that when it comes to linguistic nationalism, no political party worth its salt will speak against the step that Siddaramaiah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, go
on.
So
that you 30 seconds.
Quickly, yeah.
When Bangalore had its first metro, there was insistence on having boards in Hindi.
Yeah.
And some of the stations were named in Hindi name. And people did protest. Why do you need Hindi in Bangalore? So only after the protest they were all removed. This is the kind of sentiment. Because you try to impose something, there will be reaction.
All right. On that note, I'm happy that it does not turn into something where it is only linguistic nationalism, and it's not. It's bereft of law and order. Thank you so much, Ramkrishna Upadhyay and Satya Prakash. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me on the debate. And the second debate is coming from Kerala BJP to undergo major changes in a bid to gain foothold in the state. Will it work? We'll have to see.
Your promise is IGI certified. Your ambition is IGI certified. 14-step grading process. 50 years of trust. IGI Trust Certified.
एक्सरसाइज करा करा के मेरी जान निकाल देगा तो तेरा और हमारे बिजनेस का ध्यान कौन रखेगा?
अपने साथ अपनों की लाइफ फिट रखने का परफेक्ट प्लान कैनरा HSBC लाइफ इंश्योरेंस टर्म प्लान. कैनरा HSBC लाइफ इंश्योरेंस promises का पार्टनर.
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the Nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every seam, every fold, is crafted with excellence. It's timeless elegance and uncompromising quality made for the corner office. It's the ideas that inspire redefining order and elevating the tabletop. To the Nines, for the leaders of today and the visionaries of tomorrow.
India spends $75 billion on foreign cargo vessels.
$75 billion per annum. That's a lot of money.
Imagine a situation where 95% of our cargo is coming on ships which are not owned by us. If we are still not prepared, if someone were to say that we are not going to give you ships, then we'll be stuck. So the entire nation's economy is at risk.
We are very clear that shipping is also strategic, because without that you can't really be the third largest economy in the world.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, you're watching the South Indian, and our next story is coming from Kerala. Kerala BJP to shift gears, will it work? We are asking questions, we'll find out. In a major move, Kerala's BJP unit has signalled a generational change in leadership with a higher and more inclusive representation of women, youth, Christians, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, as well as backward class communities in top organizational posts from the booth level and upwards. BJP State President K. Surendran announced that the BJP's nominees for District and Booth Committee President showed how they are more inclined towards a younger demographics, and added that the BJP would also have Muslims in leadership positions. He said, and I quote him here, "The CPIM and the Congress have a moribund and geriatric leadership that refuses to budge from power. In contrast, the BJP welcomes generational shifts and leadership change is inevitable in a dynamic and constantly evolving political organization." Not only has the state BJP unit seeking to make this change, but has also altered its organizational structure ahead of the local body elections due later this year. Instead of the 14 district units, the party now has 30 organizational districts in the state. 4 of the 27 newly appointed district presidents are women. They are Nivedita Subramanian, who's from Thrissur North, Deepa Purakkal, who's from Malappuram West, Raji Prasad, Kollam East, and ML Aswini from Kasargod. In what can be viewed as a major push towards dovetailing members of other communities, 3 have been appointed organizational district presidents from the Christian community, namely Roy Chako in Kottayam East, VC Varghese, Idukki South, and Justin Jacob from Thrissur. Is the Kerala BJP getting its game right? Because despite several pushes to woo members of the Christian community and also the Muslim community, the party hasn't really been able to make major inroads in Kerala. Let's debate. Let's welcome Vinita Hariharan, BJP leader, to the debate right now, and also George Kaliyavail, who's the editor of National Affairs Deepika Daily newspapers. A very, very warm welcome to both of you, Vinita as well as George. Good to see you, George, after such a long time. Vinita, you too, welcome to the show. Vinita, tell me something, these changes that you have made, even the structural level changes, and also dovetailed more women, more Christians, there is going to be more Muslim leadership, etc., etc. I mean, I want to understand that why did you do it, and part B of that question is, then you do accept that the BJP in Kerala was bereft of a proper representation. Vinita Hariharan.
Thank you for having me on your show, Sudhaji. So definitely, this shift is not because it was bereft of, earlier it was bereft of, leadership or representation. in the past. So it's just going with the philosophy of BJP, which is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas, which has been demonstrated effectively in most of the, the government programs and the outreach measures that we have taken across the country. So that's only reflecting the BJP's ethos. And as far as representation in the organizational framework today, as we see it, it's extremely inspiring, as you would agree, and also encouraging, because we have 4 tall women leaders. So it's a mix of, state leadership as well as from the grassroots level. All of these 4 women have played important roles in the state. And there are also, one of the women are also she's very active at the grassroots level. So it's a mixture of state leadership and grassroots leadership.
I understand, which means that you are filling the gaps now. It's become the need of the hour, Vinita. Not really. So it's also going with the policy of the BJP and of the government per se, of giving increased representation to women. Okay.
And as we have seen in the recent Lok Sabha elections, also we had women candidates and women representatives from the BJP in Kerala.
But none of them won.
BJP.
But no one won. Yeah. I mean, the results.
No, that's
power. But the point is, Vinita, it's for power that we fight an election. Electoral politics is not just a kind of game of tambola, right? We have to win votes. Let me come back to you and welcome George into the show. George, in the past we have seen JP Nadda, we've seen Amit Shah, we've seen Narendra Modi wooing Catholic priests, going to them. I remember before Suresh Gopi's daughter's wedding, Prime Minister met with top leaders. Even in Delhi recently, he met with, top leaders. He spoke about, the eclectic culture of Kerala. Do you think these changes are to better the game? Because so far, I have the sheet in front of me, and George, you being a seasoned journalist, you must know, throughout it shows 0 except for 2016 assembly polls 1 and 2024 1. So it's become the need of the hour, isn't it, George?
Good evening, Sudha. As
Hi.
you said, there is a welcome change in the organizational restructuring of BJP in Kerala. Anyway, as you said, 3 district presidents. But these 3 district presidents, you should know that there are 14 districts, but BJP is coming out with 30 district presidents. That means there are approximately 10 lakh voters. They are making a 1 district. There is no problem in it. It is nice. It is good. I welcome that. By the way, there are women representation also is coming up out of the 34 women district presidents. 4 are women. That itself is a good, but that is not enough. I think, but BJP has started a change, a generational change. Youngsters are coming up, women are coming up, then minorities are coming up, but Muslims are avoided. These are not, I couldn't fully support, but I welcome the initial changes, at least for a restructuring, for the revamping of BJP in Kerala.
Only
so
constant.
that people of Kerala should accept this part.
No, but I wonder if they will, George, because, Vinita, let me come to you. So far, if you look at it historically, Kerala is divided between 2 main parties. It's either the left or the Congress. The BJP not only has not had any space to get a foot in to Kerala, it seems that it is flawed. Its philosophy and the way it conducts itself, its narrative does not really suit Kerala, because again, I am only going by the electoral kind of results here. I have no personal agenda here. Now for instance, the BDJS, which is, which is second largest ally of the BJP-led NDA, they are now clearly saying we want other options because this game is not going to work. Also, you have tremendous kind of, problems in Palagat so far as your party is concerned. There is an open rebellion. I want to ask you that you are making the change, but the point is, isn't it too little too late, Vinita?
No, absolutely not. Change is never too late, and it's a welcome change. Organizationally, giving representation to women and minorities, Christians. So I think it's a welcome change. A change is never too late, as we've reiterated on and on again. And as far as representation is concerned, we've had, in innings now, we've had a foothold with Suresh Gopi ji coming in as the MP from Thrissur. So I think that's a great electoral win. And you must understand that Kerala's population is extremely, their mindset cannot be changed very easily. So a change in Kerala is very difficult to achieve because the population, demographically, if you see, it is, towards the older population who have their votes cast in their mind very clearly. It's etched in their mind. So it's very difficult to erode that pattern. But we are making inroads for sure. Suresh Gopi has made a historical win in Thrissur. And we expect to reiterate and to reinforce that win in other districts
Vinita,
as well.
you say that change is very tough in the state of Kerala. They are set in their patterns. Then how are you going to succeed if you say that it's going to happen? Also, let me ask you another question. How come the BJP was able to do this in Goa with the Christians and fail in Karnataka, in Kerala, I beg your pardon? Why? What's the reason?
Yeah, like I said, Kerala is a very politically, I would say, politically set in their ways and set in their thinking. It's an extremely, evolved society. It's a very literate society. So therefore, their mindsets, and it's an older generation also compared to Goa. It's an older generation. So therefore, they are traditionally from the CPIM or the Congress. And so to make a change towards the extreme right or to the BJP, which they perceive as right wing, but it's actually extremely progressive, as you can see in the national ethos and the national play out and the way the nation is developed under the BJP. Those aspects of the Modi government is seeping into the youth. We can see that perceived change in the youth and in
All right, okay. Sorry to interject, but let me go to George. I'm completely short of time. George, you say change is good. You say change is, you welcome it. But to what use will this change be? If you look at the south, except for Karnataka and now in alliance with Andhra Pradesh, the BJP has failed in Tamil Nadu, nothing, despite Annamalai, such a tall leader. Don't you think one of the major challenges for the BJP in Kerala, Surendran is there, but there is also rumor that he may be removed. But I am asking you, lack of leaders who can actually galvanize support at the ground level. Don't you think that's a major gap in Kerala?
So you said it very correctly. There is a gap of people-friendly leaders or acceptable leaders or top leaders. There is a factionalism in the BJP in Kerala. That itself is a major issue. More than that, to woo the voters, you need to address the issues of the farmers, the middle class people, the lower middle class people. That itself is the major issue in Kerala. That all the normal farmers are in distress, and there are major issues concerning the middle class and the lower middle class people. That has never been addressed, including you trying to woo the Christian community also. The problems of the Christians are not addressed, other than words and
right. And also, I think central leaders with lots of funds coming there and campaigning is not going to work. You've got to nurture and grow local leaders who are well tuned into Kerala's culture, history and ideology. I think it's also fear that they don't know BJP. I mean, human being is always scared of what he doesn't know. It's like darkness. So they are scared. They do not know who are these people. I think that remains. But yeah, you made a start, you've made a change, and I only wish you all the luck. Thank you so much, George, for joining us, and also Vinita Hariharan for joining us on this broadcast. Let's move on. My next story is coming from Karnataka. Anganwadi workers in Karnataka protest demanding increase in minimum wages. That's coming up in a bit. Do not miss it. There it is. Look at all those women. Very, very major to any society. Anganwadi workers protesting. They say we need minimum wages. This is coming from Karnataka. In the state of Karnataka, a major protest took place as 3,500 Anganwadi workers from Dakshina Kannada joined the Bengaluru Chalo protest. The protest, which has been organized as an indefinite agitation, aims to highlight the plight of Anganwadi workers who have been serving under the Integrated Child Development Services or ICDS scheme for 50 years. Yeah, you heard it right, 50 long years. The workers are making the following demands on your screens right now. Take a look. A minimum salary of 25,000 for workers, a minimum salary of 12,000 for helpers. Official recognition as government employees with classifications similar to D grade and C grade staff, much like in Gujarat. Anganwadi workers argued that their services are critical to child development and nutrition, yet their pay and status fails to reflect their contributions. With thousands of workers expected to join, the protest could mark a pivotal moment in their fight for fair treatment and better facilities. My colleague Mohammad Wajiullah brings you this ground report from the protest site. Take a look.
1 month back at the same spot, ASHA workers had gathered here to raise their voice against the misappropriation of funds and the salaries that they were not getting. Today, thousands of Anganwadi workers have now gathered here for the same cause and for the same reasons, because they also believe that they have not got the basic amenities or the minimum wages that they have to be given with regards to their salaries and with regards to the way they have to keep their household. You can see thousands of them in unison are sitting here in the Freedom Park in Bengaluru, raising their voice against the problems that they have been facing here. Today I'm being joined by a few of their leaders who've brought these people together. And let's speak to them and just find out what is their cause. Sir, ma'am, first ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಿಮ್ದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಏನಿದೆ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು?
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆಯರ ಮತ್ತು ಸಹಾಯಕಿಯರ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸಂಘಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಹೋರಾಟ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಹೋರಾಟ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆಯರಿಗೆ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಗೌರವಧನ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹಣೆಪಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ 11,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಗೌರವಧನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಹಾಯಕಿಯರಿಗೆ 6,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಬೆಲೆ ಏರಿಕೆ ಬಿಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಬದುಕಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ತಲೆ ಎತ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮಗೊಂದು ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ವೇತನ ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ವೇತನ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಎರಡೂ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮಗೆ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ವೇತನ ಜಾರಿ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳಾಗಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆಯರು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರು ಬರ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆಯರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಶ್ರಮವಹಿಸಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಆ ಶ್ರಮವಹಿಸಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆಯರಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ವೇತನ ಒಂದು ಕೂಲಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ 1975ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ICDS ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿರೋದು. 75ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಈಗ 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಲಿಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸುವರ್ಣ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಆಚರಿಸಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರನ್ನ ಈ ಥರ ಬೀದಿ ಕೂರಿಸಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಒಂದು ವಾಪಸ್ ತೆಗಿಬಾರ್ದು. ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ವೇತನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಗೌರವವಾಗಿ ಬದುಕಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ವಿವಿಧ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಸಹಾಯಕಿಯರು ಬಂದು ನಾವು ಕೂತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಚಳವಳಿ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ವೇತನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ.
To roughly translate what she's trying to say is that it's been 50 years since they haven't got their minimum wages. Their minimum wages have been 11,000 for teachers and 6,000 for workers. Helpers. For helpers it has been 6,000, and that is why they're requesting that it's high time that the government understands their importance and increase their minimum wages to 25,000 and 6,000. Let's speak 12,000. Ma'am, if you can explain what really there in Hindi salpa.
सबको नमस्कार. मैं मैंगलोर से हूँ. हम तो 50 सालों से अब इसके लिए हम 50 साल ICDS को पूरा हो गया, फिर भी हमको दे रहे हैं. सिर्फ हमको 11,000 देते हैं और हेल्पर को 6,000 देते हैं. हम तो पूरा काम इसका करते हैं, सेंट्रल का और स्टेट का दोनों को करते हैं. सिर्फ हमको सेंट्रल का ही 11 बुक्स है वो सब करना है, फिर मोबाइल में भी करते हैं हम. इधर आके स्टेट का सब सर्वे लोगों से बोल के ये APL का सर्वे होगा, इलेक्शन का होगा, इम्यूनाइजेशन का होगा, सबका काम हम पर आता है. हमका हाफ डे था, अभी फुल कर रहे हैं. फुल डे मॉर्निंग 9 से 4 बजे से करते हैं. 30 से 50 तक बच्चे लोग रहते हैं, उनको खाना देते हैं. फिर भी सारा काम हमसे करवा के फिर भी हमको देते हैं सिर्फ 11,000. ये कौन सा कानून है? इसको इतना 50 सालों से एक वो सेंट्रल स्टेट बोलते हैं, सेंट्रल नहीं वो देते हैं, सेंट्रल लोग बोलते हैं स्टेट से नहीं देते हैं। हम किधर जाए तो किधर जाए, किससे पूछे हम? अभी मोदी जी आके सारा भारत को इतना ऊंचा तक बनाया है हमको, फिर भी हमारा ये हम इतना सालों से इतना स्ट्राइक करते, फिर भी हमको एक साल भी अभी सेंट्रल से कुछ भी ज्यादा नहीं हुआ। अभी बोल रहे हैं उधर से 60% आता है, इधर से 40%, वो सब फूड में जाता है। बच्चे लोगों को खाना देते हुए, और प्रेगनेंसी है उनको देते हैं, वो मातृ वंदना है, इम्यूनाइजेशन है, कितना सारा काम है। डिटेल में बताएगा पूरा आधा दिन चल जाएगा, इतना काम सब करते हैं, फिर भी कितना लोगों को रिटायरमेंट हो गया, उनको खाली हाथ जाना पड़ता है।
बेसिक डिमांड क्या है?
हमको बेसिक है, हमको महीने का परमानेंट करना चाहिए, एक परमानेंट करके 25,000 वर्कर को 12,000 मिनिमम वेजेस टीचर्स को, 12,000 हेल्पर को देना चाहिए। फिर कौन सा सब कुछ पीएफ वगैरह है, कुछ भी नहीं है हमको कुछ भी नहीं है। हेल्थ तक भी अभी हेल्थ का वो सब आता है ना, वो देते हैं, लेकिन हमको पीएफ वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं देते। इसीलिए रिटायर्ड होते वक्त कुछ एक अकेली औरत रहती है, उनको क्या है, सीधे खाली हाथ जाते हैं ना। इसीलिए हमारे इस सबका हमका ये आवाज उधर सेंट्रल तक जाना चाहिए। और मैं एक बार मिडल में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने किया था वो हमको मिनिमम वेजेस देने के लिए, लेकिन वो भी नहीं आ गया। फिर हमको परसों गुजरात में हुआ, उनको परमानेंट करो बोल के हाई कोर्ट में, वो भी कुछ नहीं आता। सिर्फ अभी आया है ग्रेजुएटी का, वो भी रिटायर्ड होके 1 महीना हो गया, वो भी नहीं मिला, अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं मिला। कितने लोगों का रिटायर्ड होने के बाद डेथ हो गया है, फैमिली में कोई नहीं देखने वाला, उनका हेल्थ इतना खराब होता है इधर आके काम करके, वो लोग बाकी जाके काम करने के लायक ही नहीं रहते। इसीलिए हमका इतना सारे लोगों के पास से हम विनती करते हैं।
आपका नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम सविता है, मैं मैंगलोर दक्षिण कन्नड़ से हूँ।
आपका नाम सर?
प्रेमा भी शिवमोगा।
So as you heard, these two people who clearly made us understand the problems that they have been facing, and their main demand is that it's been 50 years since their minimum wages haven't been increased, and it should be increased from 12,000 to 25,000 for teachers and from 6,000 to 12,000 for workers is what they have been demanding. And as you can see, all these people that my camera person is just going to pan and show you are Anganwadi workers who are involved in providing these basic health care, the nutrition for kids, for pregnant women in the India, and these are the backbone of the country at the places where people are not there, where doctors are not there, where compounders are not there. These are the Anganwadi workers. They were usually effective during the COVID time also. They are the people who are tracking the pulse of the ground, and that is why it is very important for the government to listen to their voice and make sure that their demands are met, at least because these are the people who are the actual backbone of the city, and they are the pulse on the ground for the government. Bringing you this report from the Freedom Park, where thousands of Anganwadi workers from different parts of the district are protesting in Bengaluru.
All right. Also, some other news coming from Karnataka. The government is all set up to hike Cauvery water tariff. Deputy Chief Minister Kris Gopalakrishnan says the hike is inevitable. D.K. Shivakumar has announced a hike in the Cauvery water tariff, saying that the hike is inevitable. This decision was announced by the Deputy Chief Minister Shivakumar after a meeting with officials from the Bengaluru Water Supply and Sewerage Board, which is BWSSB. The Deputy Chief Minister pointed out that water tariff in Karnataka had not been increased since 2014 and that the water board was running in a loss of 1,000 crore rupees annually. Shivakumar added that in order to compensate for the losses and to keep the organization afloat, a price increase has become mandatory. For more on this, I am joined by my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah. Welcome to the show, Waji. I want to know, yes, it's been 2014, it's been a decade now, but the thing is, do you think it will be received well? Because, you know, there is a water crisis which is looming large in at least 8 wards in Bengaluru alone, where the Cauvery water does not even, appear. They say we keep waiting for Cauvery water, it's not come for so many years, they promise us, nothing happens. Your comments, how will this be received? Wajiullah.
Well, so the first thing first, no price hike will be received happily or satisfactory, because anything that is increased from what it is going to hamper the budget of a family, of a person, from what he carries. In the last few days, we've seen how the government has been mulling over the increasing of BMTC fare prices. Then we saw BMRCL, the metro fare prices, which has been stopped by the centre. And now the water hike that DK Shivkumar has said that in the coming days, that also is a possibility, because since 2014 there was no hike, and now this is going to happen. So this is something that will not be received happily, because people on the other hand are suffering. And like you mentioned, there is a water shortage.
Yes.
The secretary also spoke after him and said that various levels of water is decreasing. So we'll have to wait and watch how it's been received.
On that note, thank you very much, Vajula, for joining us on the broadcast. Yet another news coming in from Karnataka. Infosys co-founder Kris Gopalakrishnan, former IISc director Balaram, and 16 others have been booked. What's the story? All right, that's the story. A very, very big name, and he's been booked under the SC/ST Act. So the people who are booked, one is of course Kris Gopalakrishnan, co-founder of Infosys, former IISc director Balaram, and 16 others under the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act in Bengaluru. The case was filed at Sadashivanagar police station based on directions from the 71st City Civil and Sessions Court. The complaint was lodged by one Durgappa, a tribal member from the Bovi community who worked as a teacher at the IISc Center for Sustainable Technology. In his complaint, Durgappa alleged that he was falsely implicated in a 2014 honey trap case, which ultimately led to his dismissal. He also accused the individuals of making caste abuse against him and is suing him violent threats. The accused include prominent IISc members, including Gopalakrishnan, who serves on the Board of Trustees. Gopalakrishnan is a Padma Bhushan awardee and served as Infosys CEO from 2007 to 2011 and has held key roles in industrial bodies like the CII. He of course holds a master's degree from IIT Madras and is a fellow of INAE and IETE. Of course, further developments in the case are awaited. Neither the IISc nor Gopalakrishnan has responded to the allegations so far, so we shall wait for what happens. Let me now go once again to my colleague Mohammad Wajullah on this piece of news. It's so shocking, although let me also say that nothing has been proven as yet, but the same kind of a case happened in IIT Madras, you know, where a professor went to court saying that there was caste slurs heaped on him. What are you hearing on the ground? How is Bengaluru reacting to this?
Well, it is shocking and unexpected, because it comes from a person who has been working in Infosys, one of the biggest tech giants, somebody who was a part of IISc, and then the complaint that is being leveled against him is of caste slur and honey trapping. So these are something that has shocked most people in the city. We are yet to hear from them on the allegations that have been leveled against him. It's believed that it's a case of 2014. We'll have to now wait and watch how law process progresses in this particular case, because neither of them have either denied or accepted the fact something like this has happened. Acceptation is a part thing, but neither of them denied anything like this. So how will the police take this forward, and on what proof has been put? Because it's been more than 10 years, 11 years now since this incident has happened, and now it has come to light. We'll have to wait and watch how the police takes cognizance of this.
Absolutely right. You know, it's not so much about what positions he's held, but Kris Gopalakrishnan is a technocrat. I mean, IIT Madras and Indian Institute of Science is not a joke. Thank you so much, Vajula, as usual, for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you indeed. And with that, the South Indian says goodbye to you. But tomorrow is another day with lots of stories in the bag. So do watch South Indian tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Until then, namaskara.
We are at the highest airfield in India and one of the highest airfield in the world. It is the most beautiful airfield in India. There's no aircraft that cannot land on this airfield.
This will be the highest airfield in India and 5th in the world.
This particular runway will cater for
most of the military aircraft, fighters and transport landing.
A strategic edge to the forces, deterrent for our neighboring countries.
Jai Hind.
Yes, 100% completion. TV9 News and News 9 Plus is the first team here.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Valuations can be frothy.
Going public is almost like what some of us would like to say is the holy grail, right?
IPOs are a trend, not a bubble.
Do secondary markets exist? Answer is absolutely yes, and it's been around for a very long time.
Valuations could be high or low, and valuation may correct over time, but IPOs are here to stay.
It is basically a graduation ceremony of sorts. It is potentially where a startup stops being a startup and starts becoming an enterprise.
The IPO space has just started in the past 24 months. The startup ecosystem has been around for 15 years.
Fundamentally, if you have a strong business and you have predictability of cash flows and you can actually give with a fair degree of confidence where the business is headed, the market will reward you.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
We made history for a reason tonight.
Will it change the shape of American foreign policy? Violence has erupted in Manipur once again. How can we pass judgment, sir, before any inquiry that, they were volunteers or militants, sir?
If it's a cancer, then what?
It's very distressing.
Anyone can have cancer.
Mentality है कि ये बीमारी मुझे नहीं हो सकती.
There's a thing called cancer is right inside me.
सबसे पहले जो होता है ना, डर जो होता है कि now it's the end of the world.
My life went upside down.
Stigma associated with it, which is very scary.
In our country, more than 14 lakh people get diagnosed with cancer every year. Out of that, more than 9 lakhs die every year because of cancer.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
It's not the fiefdom of politicians. They owe it to the people. Matter is now more about faith of the millions of devotees than just political slugfest. Does that mean that I can't get a job in Chennai, although I may be best suited for that particular job? They have more civic sense, they have more of civility than all these men. My name is Sudha Sadanand. Welcome to the South Indian.
Hello and welcome. You are watching News 9.